Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a long week and obviously a lot of emotion around Cornal Hendricks' death and a lot of tributes being played, and I thought maybe I'll do a quick video just wrapping up a lot of them as well. Some of the tributes we saw, some that we didn't see, and some of them were really remarkable and really fitting for him. So I think I'm going to start off with pretty much just Jake's words after the game, talking about how difficult it was a week for them and how they handled it, and the fact that they beat the Dragons to secure a second spot on the log, and how it was all for Cornal. So let's start with that.
It was a bit tough, I must say. I mean, you forget how young these guys are, Ronaldo. I'm an older guy, and you still feel like, gee, this is not how it should be. And I just said to them now, that it was a different week. It's something that we've never experienced. I finished with 14 men as well. Took Sopas off. I wanted to see whether we could defend and play without a line-out caller. Deliberately did that because I want to see whether or not I put them into situations where we can't always control those things, And the message is, we've done all the hard yards now to get into the playoffs. Now we needed a why, and this is the why, So I think I'm hoping sporting teams, sometimes they need this. You look at what happened to Munster when they lost their coach. They just kicked into gear and they ended up winning. And so, Winston Churchill said, and in adversity comes opportunity. So it was a tough week, and I had to talk to them, obviously, as youngsters, because, as much as we might understand it, they don't understand. It's not the real world. Rugby players, buses, aeroplanes, hotels, nice salaries. It's not really how the world operates. So I think it was a learning curve for these guys as well, which is part of coaching as well. It's not just about the rugby. It's sharing that with them as well, and it was emotional. I had to find the right time to say it, and the right forum. And also the right mindset, because obviously in the beginning of the week it was very difficult for me. But, I think it was the right time now post the game. I didn't want to do it before a game and play all the emotions with them. So they've got a week off, and now we can come back and really, use that emotional energy that sporting teams sometimes need in the sports that we play.
Understandably, they didn't want to go too much on the emotion. Jake, of course, got very emotional earlier in the week, as we saw. I'm sure a lot of people did see that when talking about it. And it's been an emotional week for them. So, it was how they handled it. But now turning to some of the tributes, I think we'll start off with just looking at Loftus, how they did the tribute to this. And this is obviously a video from SuperSport, so credit to them for this. Hopefully we're not going to get copyright strikes, so if it's still here then we haven't, but hopefully I can show this to you as well. But this obviously video credit of SuperSport.
But before anything gets underway today, the real purpose of what's happening in round 18 here in Pretoria is to celebrate the life of Cornal Hendricks, a player who so proudly represented the Bulls for many seasons. After it looked like his career had come to an end, he revived it right here in the Jacaranda City.
We also saw a bit of a discussion in studio in SuperSport as well, Skalkberg and Hanyani Shimangi giving their tributes to him as well. So let's have a listen to that quickly.
Hanyani Shimangi, Skalkberger, you guys would have spent a lot of time with Cornal. Shimmy, just something about, he was such a kind, gentle soul.
Yeah, a good man, high energy guy, good for a team environment, full of laughs. Scully, get those guys in a team that you want to sit next to, you want to be around the whole time, and Cornal was one of those guys. And it's sad what's happened. So condolences to his family, to his community. And yeah, it's a sad week, but you can just see the way his life's been celebrated. You can see all the posts on social media. He's always in the circle, cracking a joke, making everyone ever laugh about him, and that's the long-lasting memories we'll have of him.
It was typically that with him, wasn't it, Scully?
Yeah, just a lovely rugby man from Wellington, my hometown. He was back there, and sometimes the nicest blokes, they live life too short. And I played with him 2014-15 season under Heineken, a fantastic rugby player, so underrated, especially when he came back for the Bulls. And they didn't have a 12, they plugged Cornal in at number 12, and for those 2-3 seasons in and around COVID, he was their best player by an absolute standout. So, we're going to miss him. He was back in Wellington with his loved ones when this happened. So, unfortunate, super sad, but I'll never forget the laugh. The laugh is the one that stands out.
Of course, there was a lot of tributes at Loftus. Maybe not as many as people think, but I think it's not always about the amount of flowers, just the fact that people do care. And I think Cornal did touch a lot of people. So first we saw the Dragons, who did a very classy move and came to put flowers down as well on Friday. You'll see these pictures now. And then after that was what we saw on Saturday, just before the game, some of the tributes there. We also saw a number of tributes to him as well. I think we start off with, he even got a tweet from the state president, Cyril Ramaphosa, that just shows you how far and wide. You wouldn't expect the state president to remember somebody's death there like that. But let's have a look quickly at what Cyril did tweet. So this was the state president's message there. Quite nice for him to actually, and what a lovely photo. That was obviously with the Springbok Sevens days. I think that was in Cali in Colombia when they won the World Games. But yeah, just nice to see that he was honoured at that as well. And the sports minister also tweeted about him. So it definitely made a mark far beyond just the rugby field. Even in Cape Town, he was supposed to join the Stormers, Cornal, and he obviously never did because his heart ailment prevented him at that stage. There was also a round of applause in the 14th minute, the same number as his jersey. And so we can look at that. And then just John Dobson was asked after the game as well exactly about it. So listen to his answer as well about what a tough competitor Cornal was to play against.
And now in the 14th minute of the match, a moment for the fans here to give a round of applause to a man who's gone well before his time, Cornal Hendricks, born about an hour outside of Cape Town, a hero of Boland rugby, club rugby, provincial rugby, national rugby, a Blitzbok, a Springbok with 12 caps to his name, a Commonwealth gold winner. Gone too soon at 37 years of age. May he rest in peace, and thoughts are with his family and his wife, Stephanie. Okay.
I don't want to be pious and claim to be, I didn't know him. Obviously, his story is remarkable. I think the Bulls, entrusting him, allowing him back on the field was fantastic, because we didn't, there's obviously guys are very scared. But I think, Jake, to your point, he was the best competitor on the field. I mean, sure. These guys, he was arrived in our faces, everything, and the first guy to give a hug afterwards. He was extraordinary like that. I mean, he was like the arch bull, and in our faces. We wanted to. It was a real classic rivalry. And then I say afterwards, the guys loved him down there, Pompies. And I think what he did for the community, with his foundation, extraordinary. I mean, yeah. So I don't want to say past like he's a friend. I didn't know him, but what a great rugby to give back to the community like that and the story, and still give back to Boerland. So I don't want to speak for the sake of it, but as I say, great rival. But as I say, in our change room afterwards, and that's what rugby's about. So, and I know what he did for the kids, as you say, at Wellington and over there.
And then one of the most fitting tributes to him, which I thought was really stunning, is the Sharks, who had their training jerseys with his picture on and went out. And if you haven't heard already, those training jerseys will be auctioned off and the proceeds will go to Cornal's family. So if you are interested, or if you know anybody who's interested in acquiring one, please go to the Sharks social media or their website. You'll find details on how to bid on them as well. But this was really a lovely, lovely gesture from them. One of the best and really classy from the Sharks. Well done, guys. Yeah, some pictures of that jersey as well that the Sharks sent out afterwards. Apparently, Eben Etzebeth who suggested it, and what a wonderful gesture from them. Really, really nice of them to do that. Stunning, and I think Cornal would be proud. Guys, I reckon after a week like this, you realize how short life is, how people impact other people. So look after your loved ones, tell them what you feel. And it's been a rough week, so let's move forward and never forget Cornal. So have a great time. I'm going to go out with this wonderful artist impression that was done for Cornal, and we'll leave it at there. Thanks for watching. Cheers.